Why am I so exhausted is probably one of the number one questions that I get from my highly sensitive patients. And being exhausted is a pretty common characteristic if you're a highly sensitive person and you don't know what to do about it. Hi, I'm Ashton. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and an HSP myself. And let's have a look at why highly sensitive people are so damn exhausted and what we can do about it. Okay, so one of the main traits of being a highly sensitive person is that we sense the subtleties. And what does that mean in layman's terms? It means that we notice everything. So for example, I was thinking this morning when I went into the kitchen to get a glass of water, I thought, wow, this is what it's like to be a highly sensitive person, because this is what it looked like. So I got up, and as I walked down the hall, I noticed that in one bedroom that the duvet was wrinkled, and I noticed that the runner in the hallway floor was askew. And then I got into the kitchen and I noticed there's water on the kitchen counter, and I noticed that there are fingerprints on the stainless steel on the handle on the refrigerator. And then I noticed the plant in the kitchen looked like it needed a drink of water. And all of this just to go into the kitchen and get a drink of water. So why is this exhausting, you might say? Well, taking all that data, all that information into the brain can be exhausting to the brain. So think about the last time that you crammed for a test. For some of you, maybe it was yesterday. For others, it could have been 20 years ago. But when we're studying for a test, we're taking in a lot of information, and it's a lot, and your brain probably hurt. Well, that's how HSPs walk around every day. It's like we have 100 antennas taking in all this information versus maybe 10 that a person without the trait has. So that's one reason that we can get exhausted, is because we notice everything. Okay, well, then perfectionism. That's also a characteristic of highly sensitive people. If you're a perfectionist and you are noticing everything, the tendency is going to be to act on everything that you notice. So as you're walking to the kitchen to get that glass of water and you notice that the duvet is wrinkled, you smooth out the duvet. You straighten the rug. You wipe the smudge prints off of the refrigerator door handle. You wipe up the kitchen counter. You water the plants, right? So you get my drift. You want to do it perfectly. And so if you don't notice it, you can't do it perfectly, right? And if you do notice it, chances are, until you've worked on some of the tools that we'll talk about, you're going to do it. A third characteristic of being a highly sensitive person is that we tend to be really conscientious. And what that means is that we really have a drive to do our work or whatever duty it is that we're doing well. So it really kind of goes hand in hand with perfectionism. It's amplified in highly sensitive people because we do tend to be perfectionists, and we also are conscientious. We feel a drive to do things well and perfectly. And then that can bring the emotional piece into it, because now we have an attachment emotionally. Did I do this well, or did I do this perfectly? So we've got sensing the subtleties, which is taxing to the brain, the thinking component. We've got perfectionism, behavior, which is acting and taxing our behavior. And then we've got the conscientious piece, which can be taxing to the emotions. So it's no wonder that non-trained, highly sensitive people are so daggone exhausted at the end of the day. So it sounds like a curse, right? Well, it can be if you don't know what to do about it. And I'm going to talk about that. If you found this information helpful, please hit the like button or consider subscribing. It really does help the content reach more people. And remember, when you understand your sensitivity, you too can claim it as your greatest asset.